Hello, and welcome to the first ever Downtown Kentucky podcast.
Asterisks attached to the end?
Yeah, I mean it's also not the first, but like it's the first Downtown Kentucky pod. It's a
The
confusing
first
mess.
Downtown Kentucky
Yeah.
podcast. But it's not the first podcast that Downtown
No,
Kentucky's
no,
ever
we
done.
had three failed podcasts before this, but
That's right.
we're going back in. We failed once. We said, "Ha, we'll do it again."
There's only one way to find out if we'll fail more than once. It's to keep trying.
I would argue technically we already did fail twice because we tried three podcasts, we canceled two of them, and then kept doing the other one for like 2 weeks, and then canceled that one
Yeah.
in the middle of a three-part series.
As it turns out, having like a very directed, like focused genre podcast is a lot harder than it seems.
Yeah, yeah, that just it is.
Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Who would've thought?
especially television reviews. Television reviews are hard.
So instead of doing that, this podcast is kind of just whatever me and Austin wanted to do.
Yeah, we're just chatting.
It's gonna
Because
sit
I
here
put
and
this in the
shoot
just
the
chatting
breeze.
category because I think that'll get more potential views than if we put it in podcasts. Am I breaking Twitch's system? Maybe. And if so, I apologize.
Oh well. Maybe they'll have such an exploitable system.
Yeah,
Jeez, Twitch.
it's not our fault.
Kind of go into ASMR and start hot tub
Oh,
stream.
we can start whispering in our mics? Okay.
Hey,
You
Oh.
wanted to make this a mukbang stream with your apple.
look, it's a really good. That's a solid
It's a
looking
good
apple.
apple.
Can you blame a guy for not wanting to eat this apple?
I can't.
Look at that.
You're making me hungry, Chris. It's not
It's
fair.
astounding. Audio listeners, for
It was an
those
apple.
of you who are listening, it's a very large apple, honestly.
Yeah, it was a decently sized apple. And if you are an
Yeah,
audio
it's a
listener,
solid-sized
welcome. I think you might be able to listen to this on an audio podcast. We'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
There are
Who
plans
knows?
for this to be audio available. Jeez, man. There are plans for this to be available on an audio podcast.
There's plans.
On like
We'll see if
SoundCloud, because they're one of the
falls
only
through or
places I
not.
can put it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even though I did call it just chatting, I think just chatting isn't supposed to have like a set idea for topics, which means we probably are breaking the rules. But we have a topic list, and I think we should start with our first topic here, which is kind of a little. We're gonna talk about some childhood stuff real quick. If you tuned in to our Lego Star Wars video,
Yeah, our very important Lego Star
yeah,
Wars
it's
series
part of
that
the
we've
it's
been
part of
doing.
the DK podcast canon. So if you watched this one, you have to go back and watch that whole video twice
True.
on YouTube. Please,
That's true.
I'll give it a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Do that, please. Rate 5 stars, all those things we're supposed to say.
Rate me 5 stars on Uber, please.
Yeah. But yeah, so we talked about Teletubbies because we're weirdos.
Yeah. We're
And-
weirdos who grew up in the late 90s
That
to
is
the
true.
2000s.
Yeah.
That good old PBS public access.
Yeah, baby. I didn't have cable.
Hey, Teletubby.
So, we talked about the Teletubbies baby, and we were having this whole sun baby. Sorry, the sun baby.
Right.
The creepiest thing that ever existed in television history.
No, I agree. Definitely unsettling.
Yeah, it was a choice, that one. We talked about, we had a little discussion about how old the sun baby is now. And we told you if you want to know, tune in here. Yeah, you could have done a simple Google search like I did. But you know what would have happened if you'd done that? You would have been told that the sun baby, whose real name is Jessica Smith, was 21. But you had to do your due diligence like I did to realize that article was 4 years old. So she's
Oh my
actually
gosh.
25. Breaking
Holy
news here.
crud.
She is 25 years old. She was born in 1996.
Wow.
Yep.
That's wild.
She was born in between me and Chris.
Yeah, I felt like She was a bit young to be
Yeah.
the Teletubby sun baby if she was only 21.
But it's what it said, and I just was like, oh, that was the only thing that it was. I think a different article said she was 19. It was like there was no other. But then it mentioned she was born in '96 in that article, and I was like, there it is. There's how okay, now I know how old she is. I don't have to. I have to do my own work here because I am a journalist. Gosh darn it.
How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just here to do a podcast with my friend.
That's the end of the
Yeah,
journalist
who'd have
segment.
thought that the Teletubby sun baby would have fallen out of the news? Ever. It's crazy.
I know, you'd think the Sun Baby would still be relevant now. I mean, she was the Sun Baby.
Dude, what's the sun baby? Also, what's up, Wee Gooby? Welcome
what's up,
to the
Wee Gooby?
podcast.
This is the podcast. We're talking about the Sun Baby from Teletubbies.
Also, hey to Cat Cold.
Oh.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, hey, Cat Cold. Welcome to the first.
You're new.
Yeah, no, that name does not sound familiar. Yeah, but staying in the same realm of entertainment for literal babies.
For literal children.
Like little children, though. Like
Little
not
tiny
just children.
baby children.
Yeah, baby kids.
Little small humans.
If you're a millennial, you probably got real close to crying this last week or so, right? I mean...
Unless you're like me, and you don't have emotions. And then you said, yes, that was nice.
Which... We're being vague about it for some reason, but we're talking about the awesome video of Steve returning to Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
for the Blue's Clues 25th anniversary. Oh my god!
Speaking of things that are turning 25, we got
not me.
We have the Sun Baby. We have Blue's Clues.
Yeah. Wow.
But
crazy.
Yeah, that video, it moved me. Hearing that man Steve lie to my face and tell me I'm doing well and I look good. Thank you, Steve.
But that is not true.
You are a liar.
How dare you?
You are a definite liar. I missed you. Speaking of Steve being a liar, he didn't go to college. Spoiler alert. He was just getting bald.
Yeah.
He was balding. And I believe it was his decision, though. Like, he was bald. He realized he was balding. He was like, I don't want to do this show anymore. So he left.
Oh. That's fair.
But, he came back. He moved us. I don't know what it is, about. It's that, just, this past year and a half is garbage. So us millennials, we needed something. And the internet consensus was what we needed, apparently, was Steve.
That's fair. We are suckers for nostalgia.
We really are. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been the nostalgia segment of today's podcast. Now we're going to move on to just a weird story that I'm going to do my best to retell from the time I heard it, where someone actually did their job and did good research on it.
Oh, okay. We'll go on.
Yeah, so next we have the saga, if you will, of Bishopmore. I combined the words. We're going great today. Bishop Sycamore, which was the name of a school? They said they were a school. We find out as the story goes on, they were not. There is
oh my god.
Yeah, the
Bishop, a fake school.
Yeah, so Bishop Sycamore was this school that was going. There was supposed to be this game on ESPN between some really good high school football team that I don't remember the name of that because that part of the story didn't matter to me.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Who actually likes sports?
Yeah, especially high school sports from Ohio. Why do I care? But apparently this team is so good that their game was supposed to be on ESPN. That was the scheduled thing. But the team they were supposed to play had to pull out. So they were scrambling to find a replacement team, and they found, Bishop Sycamore. I think it was Bishop Sycamore High School. There's the school they're gonna play against, and these slightly older looking high school students show up and get destroyed by this top level high school team. So these weren't high schoolers though. These were junior college dropouts who just wanted to play football. So the story is there's this guy, I don't remember his name, because once again, I'm not doing a good job. I didn't do the research. I'm retelling you someone else. Remember when I said I was a journalist earlier? I lied. This is actually what you should expect from this podcast, is me trying to retell you stories I heard on other podcasts.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about things that we've heard on other podcasts.
But
this podcast.
Yeah. So they try. There's this guy who was like putting together this team. He apparently has like a history of like doing kind of shady things, and like they falsified documentation to pretend to be a school. Said they had a facility where they were teaching people, even though they weren't, because they're not a school. And yeah, these guys they show up and they got destroyed though. So it's like, the beginning of that story, you think that sounds like it's gonna be, and these junior college guys destroyed these high schoolers, and that's when people realized something was wrong here. But no. They realized something was wrong because this high school football team was the worst team they've ever seen. And then they started doing some research and found out they were not a high school at all.
So sad.
It really is. And there will be a documentary that's already been announced to be being made by Kevin Hart about this. So, like, his team, like, apparently he owns, like, a documentary thing. He owns a production company, and they're doing a documentary on this. I'm sure maybe he'll be involved on camera. I don't know. But either way, it was an insane story where these guys, they faked being in high school and then got on ESPN. The top sports network in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah. I mean, how?
Because they made the right lies at the right time. So the moral of that story is, lie until you make it. That's my takeaway, at least.
You just said fake until you make it. It's the same thing, basically.
Yeah, you're right. Can we? Let's just cut the podcast. Start over, so I can do that, right?
No.
Okay, we'll keep going.
No.
This is another fun story. Then once again,
it?
Oh yeah.
Is it a fun story?
Yeah.
So, I'm reading what it is. That's not that fun.
It's fun. It's a fun story because it's also worded like that because that's how the original article worded it. A Belgian woman was banned from the zoo for having an affair with a monkey or chimp, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a chimp, not a monkey.
I'm sorry, you're right. No tail. My bad. I'm sorry. But yes. And you hear that and you think, wait, what? But don't worry, it was an emotional affair, not anything physical. Some of you might be now tuning out sad, and good, go away. We don't want you here if you were excited about the story before that. So the gist of the story is there was this Belgian woman who would go to the zoo once a week to visit this chimp and just talk to him through the glass, and she fell in love with this chimp, is what she says. And she got banned because the zoo was like, this isn't healthy for this chimp to be interacting with you so much. The other chimps are rejecting him because he's being accepted so much by humans. Yeah, so and she gave this little, she was interviewed by the news and was very heartbroken by this because this is all she has in her life, is what she said. And how how she loves that monkey.
All I have is this chimp at the zoo, bro.
I need him.
Please.
Don't take him from me.
Freaking Zoomers nowadays. All I have is monkey.
Zoomers?
Yeah.
But also she was definitely a boomer. She was definitely an old
lady. Well, no. I'm saying that's how Zoomers are nowadays with, the monkey meme.
Is there a monkey meme? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not into memes. I'm sorry. I might technically be a Zoomer depending on who you ask. But I definitely am more of a millennial at heart because I don't know anything about Gen Z culture. It baffles me. Doesn't. It baffles me. He is older than me, but I will be the old man of this podcast.
Somehow, the old man of the podcast.
What's going on? Who?
He's the one reading news. I'm busy looking at memes on Instagram.
Oh, I'm not actually reading news. I'm watching comically done YouTube videos about the news.
I'm listening to true crime on YouTube mostly.
Ooh, true crime. Maybe we'll do a
Which
segment.
we might have to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah,
at
next
some point.
next week.
Maybe tonight.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see if we go
We'll
through
see.
these topics too quickly. Might be
We'll
time
see
for some
what time
true time
allows.
talk. Yeah. So our next story. Speaking of boomer talk, here comes Austin being like, "What?
Here comes boomer talk.
Why is this happening?" TikTok has overtaken YouTube in active watch hours. So
Which
every
is
week,
wild
so
to
on a
think
week-to-week basis, more hours of content are being watched on TikTok than YouTube, which that breaks my boomer heart. There, I'm like, what? No, YouTube is my generation. Why are you watching minute-long videos? They should be at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean that honestly kind of just blows my mind more than anything.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Because TikTok content is, I mean, it's short.
Yeah, but you gotta think
means
about it.
that people are literally just on TikTok.
Yeah, they're just on TikTok flipping through it for a couple
from
hours.
video to video.
Yeah.
For like the entire day, which is wild to me. I mean, I do the same thing on YouTube, but I take breaks.
Yeah, I don't, but I'm not a normal case study here. So, but it's I do get it. As much as I'm joking and be like, oh, how dare they? Because I don't understand the appeal of TikTok, but I can admit that it is definitely more passive. It is a lot easier to just flip through TikTok.
Oh, had to uninstall TikTok because I couldn't sleep. I would just scroll endlessly.
See?
Yeah, I mean, I
That's-
guess that is the danger.
That's from our on this what's the word I was trying to make a joke. I was gonna call her like a correspondent, like on-field correspondent, but I couldn't remember the term on-field. So yeah, that's but yeah, it's an addictive app, and it's a lot more passive though.
Yeah.
You're just kind of doing it while you do things. YouTube typically is more about I want to know what this video is about, so let me sit down to watch it. So I get
Yeah.
it, because
Definitely a lot harder to passively
Yeah.
consume YouTube content unless it's like a podcast that you're
yeah,
watching / listening
like
to.
the Downtown Kentucky podcast that comes out every Tuesday on YouTube.
That's right. Please tune in. Or, well, no, please tune in.
No, please,
I'm gonna
no, please,
I'll say
please, God, tune in.
yeah, just listen to this talk. You know,
Even if you were
listen in the
here for
background.
stream, go just open it on YouTube to bump up that watch hours. I mean,
Mm. Yeah, honestly, let's talk about the algorithm of
we got
TikTok
to-
and YouTube.
okay, all right.
Because yeah, we Gooby said the algorithm on TikTok is so specific, but I feel like the same can be said for YouTube because it definitely it puts you in a feedback loop of content that you like,
I will.
and also since it's like under Google,
That's
anytime Google hears you mention anything, if you have something on your
fair.
like
Yeah.
your smartphone on your person and you're having a conversation with a friend, you'll just be chatting and passively mention something. You open up YouTube and lo and behold, there's a video.
Oh, speaking of
You
that,
know-
we got to tell the DoorDash story.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is a
this is a good story. So
This is
we,
a classic.
me and Chris, as you may know from one YouTube video and multiple streams in our past, me and Chris both really enjoyed playing
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys together.
Yeah.
And there's a Fall Guys level called DoorDash, which sucks. It is a
Yeah.
crappy, very RNG based level that's just not
no
fun.
skill involved. It is
Yeah.
just hey, you run into a door and maybe
Yeah.
it'll be open.
So me and Chris were just dogging it, like, oh, DoorDash sucks. Why is it gotta be DoorDash? I hate DoorDash. Gosh, not DoorDash. That kind of stuff. And then both of us had emails from Uber Eats with discount codes.
Yeah.
Because our phones were listening to us and heard us complaining about DoorDash and was like, oh, well, here, take Uber Eats. Uber Eats apparently was following. I was like, oh, ooh. Apparently, at some point we signed off our microphone access to Uber Eats. And so they found out that we hated DoorDash and they gave us 20% off or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think you got 20%.
30% off.
Yeah, I think you got like more than me. I remember being mad.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he getting more percent off?
Well, I was very angry about my DoorDash
So
service.
was I. But yeah, so your phones are always listening to you.
As the moral of the story.
So don't be worried about anything else. If you're one
Yeah.
of those weird people who's like, I'm gonna get, I don't want to get political.
Oh.
But I will.
Okay, I'll get a little political.
I'll get political ever so slightly. If you're worried about a certain vaccine because you're worried about the government tracking you. They
Put
already
microchips
are.
in your blood.
They
Yeah.
already are. One, there's no science or any like actual proof to that theory. But even if there was, it doesn't matter because your phone knows everything about you.
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah,
Did you ever
it
hear
sure does.
another once again you can go do a Google search to get all the details, but there was like another story about the same thing where someone like a couple tried to just talk about having a baby, and they started getting a bunch of ads for like diapers and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, they never had a baby. They didn't have a baby. They just kept mentioning like the baby. Like they kept doing that, and it got a bunch of ads for diapers, cribs, all those kind of things.
they didn't get any Spotify recommendations of the baby music.
I believe this was like this research was done a couple years ago. I don't think DaBaby was a thing yet. I mean, he probably was, but no one cared. Just like no one cares anymore either. I think he's already out of the public consciousness because he's a scumbag of a human being.
Oh, that and yeah, he was also mostly a meme, and the meme has died.
Yeah.
Well, let's go, DaBaby. You know that whole deal. It's dead.
Speaking,
if you ever want something to die, just make sure it becomes a meme, because then it'll fade out of existence in about 2 weeks.
It depends though. Some things they stay on. Like there's certain things where like how is like Rickrolling? How is Rickrolling still a thing? In our Lord and Savior's year 2021. That's what I meant to say.
21, just 21.
The year 21.
21.
Harambe is not relevant though. Gooby. That hasn't transcended. Don't get me wrong, Harambe, spicy A+ meme when he was relevant, but Harambe's been forgotten. I'm sorry.
Yeah, speaking of 21, that meme also hasn't died off yet.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact, on the September 10th, it was all anyone was posting for memes because 9 plus 10 equals 21.
No, it doesn't.
That was the whole meme.
Oh, okay. All right.
The guy asks the kid and says, "What's 9 plus 10?" He says, 21.
Also, I didn't actually know. I didn't know the whole origin of the meme. I only knew just hearing people say 21.
Welcome. Where
this is
we'll also do partial meme historian.
Chris teaches Austin about meme history. Wait, what? Who did the 21? 21 Savage. He's British now.
Yeah.
Anyway. Staying in the world of technology, though, we do have another story to talk about here, which is
a story that makes me very sad. Yes.
The El Salvador is the first country to make Bitcoin their official currency.
Yeah, which is honestly wild. Like, I don't understand how do you... Oh. Goodbye to my webcam. I don't know what's happened to me. Hello?
We still hear you.
Oh.
Maybe try unplugging webcam, maybe?
My laptop is my webcam.
Oh.
The thing about it is I'm there on Discord for me.
Okay, then this is the technical issue portion
of the podcast where we talk about how much technology sucks.
Yeah, it's great. Oh.
Hi, I'm back.
All right. Did you join with webcam? Because I still don't have a webcam.
I did.
Okay.
All right.
All right, cool. You're back. Yeah, you're good. You should be good now. There we go. Look at that. We're keeping all that in. Don't worry. I'm not editing this. So, welcome.
Yeah, this is the raw podcast.
I was gonna make some sort of joke about how we're living in the future with Bitcoin being a currency, but this proves that we're not there yet. We are not in the future. Technology still breaks, which actually is part of the story. I didn't do a lot of research on it, but it's also going terribly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine having Bitcoin as a currency would be a good idea.
The constant fluctuations making it real hard. The app that they have that's supposed to help them with it is crashing. It's not working.
Just nothing about it is going well.
Who
would have thought?
Yeah, it's a bad idea on paper and a worse idea in practice.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. But the point is I've sold all of my belongings and transferred it all
And
into
you're
Bitcoin.
moving to El Salvador?
Yeah, I'm gonna become a Bitcoin billionaire in El Salvador.
That, yeah. Just good luck.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's El Salvador because
El Salvador, yeah.
here comes some economic collapse. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it was a decision they made that they
Speaking of
made.
decisions that were made,
Speaking of bad decisions in the tech world, we're gonna show you a picture real quick that is a screenshot from a Coca-Cola ad. Oh, I turned off the picture. There we go. Which it
I
just
get big Kermit the Frog vibes somehow.
yeah. I think it might supposed to be a lime. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's just this is a real ad. Like this isn't like some meme. This isn't a joke. Coca-Cola, who we are completely willing to be sponsored by, and we will look at all your weird ad choices.
Yeah, I mean, I love Coke. Hold on, let me. Got a collection of Coke bottles.
See, we love. I'm more of a Sprite man because I cut out caffeine from life, but that's still part of the great Coca-Cola family. We love Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola company. We hashtag not spawn, but hashtag we would love to be.
Yeah. However, not loving whatever this ad is.
Yeah, no, the ad is terrible.
Very questionable.
But it did lead to some really fun discourse between people and Coca-Cola, the company, which we are going to go to right now. Nick MCM, it's probably a year, but I'm too lazy to try to figure out what that year actually is.
It's a band.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay, but a good guy here, Nick, who gave us permission to use this exchange, so thank you, Nick. He said, "What is this?" Which to Coca-Cola replied, "The taste is new and improved. All of the ingredients remain the same, but with a fresh blend of flavors to deliver a great Coke taste and an exciting new design." Thank you, Coca-Cola. That definitely answers all of the questions I had about that ad. Which, I'll be honest, I think Nick sums up how all of us are feeling right now.
Yeah.
It's just, why?
What is this? What is the green Play-Doh hair?
Yeah.
What is?
Who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah.
But, you know, I actually had a
the
conversation.
new Coke look just like the new look of human beings in the future when we all have Play-Doh hair.
I actually did have a small conversation with Nick in the Twitter DMs, and I had a good thought about it when I thought about it. To be too fair to Coke, when was any other time that anyone's talked about a Coca-Cola ad? This tweet, we're talking about this podcast, like, it was weird, but we're talking about it. So, you know what? You're welcome, Coke.
This is another one of those, any publicity is good publicity.
Yes, I believe it is. We're gonna just switch back to the picture of it just for a little bit more, just to take that in. Look how happy she is.
It really looks like they also, and I don't know if there's any validity to this at all, but it kind of looks like whoever edited this photo, like, put a tint on this person's skin. Like, I don't know if it's just the green Play-Doh hair that's also making their skin look greener. But everything...
Yeah, I can see that possibly.
The placement of the circle is, cover half the Coke bottle.
To be fair, this is
now more delicious.
To be fair, this is a video.
Wow.
This is a video, not a picture.
Yeah, so, this is a screen cap because it was a video.
It was the actual ad is a video, so it is not over the Coke the whole time. I hate to be on Coke's side here in this horrible ad, but I keep defending Coke apparently. Apparently I'm the Coke apologist. Coca-Cola made all the right decisions. We're talking about it, and they're amazing. It's a great new taste.
It's now more delicious.
It's more delicious, but with no sugar, Chris.
Yeah, you can't convince me that there's anything without sugar that has a delicious taste to it. All just tastes like aspartame. Yeah, tastes like, oh, you know what? There's a chance I could get cancer from drinking too much of this.
Statistically speaking, yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Hate, hate, hate diet drinks. Gonna be honest.
That's fair.
I'll die on that hill. People can come after me for that one. Fine. They can be wrong. People are allowed to have wrong opinions.
Oh, we're getting word from the chat. Chris, do you have a story about chewing on stevia leaves that you need to tell?
Yeah, honestly. So,
We'll switch back to
uh,
away from the Coke now.
me and my sister went to this rose garden in Louisiana. And in this rose garden, they had like uh, just a small section
Mhm.
that wasn't just roses. Uh,
Okay.
and in said garden, they had a stevia plant, which, for those of you who are into diet drinks, know that stevia is a all natural
Yeah. It's one of it.
sugar substitute,
It's actually the one I use for my Kool-Aid. It is the seemingly healthiest of the sugar alternatives.
and is the least worst tasting,
Yeah.
I would say.
It's all natural too, which makes it, at least better than all these chemical bad tasting ones that still
Yeah,
don't taste good.
easier for your body to
Yeah.
process. And so we're like, oh, I wonder. And so we took the stevia leaves and chewed on them, and sure enough, it tastes exactly like stevia. You could straight up just eat those leaves, and you'd be having a good time. I tell you what, it's like eating little sugar candy leaves. It's crazy.
I guess that's something people could do. I feel
It's
like
not the
there's
first thing you would think of when you see a leaf that it'd be sweet instead of taste like
yeah,
grass.
yeah, that is like cool.
Oh yeah, one of the nicknames for the plant is the candy leaf. A very very apropos.
Yeah.
Uh, should we carry on to
Oh,
our?
I think it's time to move on from stevia talk, which
our
is a weekly segment. We will talk about stevia next week. Tune in.
Let's talk about sugar substitutes.
Now kind of moving on to a little bit of a section. Kind of, the next couple stories are about video games. So if you're a gamer,
Oh,
well, do we have some stories for you? Our
me,
first
a gamer.
story is Stardew Valley is now an esport.
And I don't is it Stardew Valley like speed running?
I think it's Stardew Valley like multiplayer and like it's something of the nature of like group growing a farm for like a period of time to see like who gets the most carrots or stuff like that of that nature. I think I'll be honest, once again, did not do a lot of research into this. It's a cup, according to
Oh,
Weagooby.
yeah. Yes, my sister is very big into Stardew Valley. I say that like I was not also big into Stardew Valley. Uh, I just haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah, but it is now an
Uh,
esport, so it's time to get back into it, Chris, and make that money.
it's very confusing to me. It's how you could make Stardew Valley an esport. I just don't see that
Minecraft's
flourishing
about to
as
be an
a.
esport too.
I
I
can
heard
kind
that.
of
Yeah, I
understand
heard that.
that.
I don't. I didn't. I know almost no details about how that's happening, but I had
So there's at
heard.
least like competitive game
Yeah.
modes you can make out of
I
Minecraft.
think. I think it's a lot of like the parkour stuff is going to be the stuff for that.
Ah,
I could be wrong. Weagooby is begging Chris to start a Stardew Valley esports team.
the downtown Kentucky esports team.
We can sponsor you by mentioning you on this, and no other money will ever be given to you
Yeah.
because we have no money to give any sort of sponsorships. I am sorry.
No, no, we are poor.
We are poor men.
Pure.
I'm just a poor man. Nobody loves me.
Can't get sympathy. Okay.
Oh, is there more lyrics to that song?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
kind. Unpaid sponsorships. Yeah, that's what everyone loves is not getting paid. Really,
Yeah.
it's the exposure that everybody
Yeah,
wants.
yeah. We can give you exposure. I could go on a rant about like people who try to like pay an exposure who like have money
Yeah.
but still like are just don't want to pay their artists and stuff. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's coming.
Yeah,
No, I hate it. It's
But
awful.
some things I don't hate.
Tell me.
Insomniac Games, who
Yes.
created the Spider-Man for PS4 game.
No, I thought you were gonna say the, thought you were gonna say what is it called? The the guy who shoots people with electricity.
Did they
What's
make
his-
that too?
Pretty sure
Oh my
Insomniac
gosh, I love
responsible for that.
Insomniac Games is the greatest game studio ever. Once
Hold
again,
on, I gotta figure this
hashtag
out.
not sponsored. But if they created Infamous, I love them
Yeah,
even more.
Infamous.
Which would make sense because honestly, I can see the connections between Infamous and Spider-Man. They're very
They did make all the Ratchet and Clank games. Yeah, Naughty Dog was Infamous. That's what it is.
all right. Which Naughty Dog also makes good games, but that's not the point. We're not talking about Naughty Dog right now because if they announced stuff at the PlayStation thing, I didn't hear about it. I only heard about these next two games we're going to talk about, which are Spider-Man 2, which is the sequel to the Spider-Man game from 2014,
2018.
2018. That's the one.
That was one of the best Spider-Man games ever made.
I mean, there wasn't that high of a
Bar to pass.
but it was really good. I've only played like the first hour. I borrowed Chris's copy actually, and it's sitting right there. And I played like the first hour, maybe to two. I really liked it. I just haven't got back to playing it again. But have you seen the trailer for the Spider-Man 2 game?
I actually haven't. No.
Well,
Does Doc Ock come out of the
no.
crevice and go?
Possibly
"Peter."
better for a video game like this. There's some voice who is unknown talking about how he's looking for someone who can match him, and it looks like he's talking to Spider-Man and Miles, like, can either of you do it? And then you hear, we can do it, and boom, there's a shot of Venom. Venom is going to be in Spider-Man 2. I don't know if you're playing against him, if you're fighting him. I don't know. Either way, I'm excited. It's only on PS5, which means by the time it comes out, I have to somehow get a PS5.
Yeah. When's that coming home?
I don't.
Or when's that
I
coming
did
out,
not
rather?
see when it said it was coming out. I only did a little bit of research on it today. I'd written down. I was like, oh, I heard Spider-Man 2 and another game we're about to talk about are coming out. And
Oh, jeez.
yeah, now here's the other game that's coming out, which I'm also so excited for. I think it's also a PS5 exclusive, which means, maybe it'll be on PS Now and I can play it on my PC. That'd be cool. I have not. We will respond to that in a sec. I have not seen a trailer for the new Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't know they had a trailer come out.
Neither did I, but I will have to watch that.
Yes.
Maybe we can talk about it next week.
We will. If there's a new trailer, we will talk about it next week on a little segment I plan on doing at the end of every week if there's something to talk about. Is kind of like a trailer talk where you can tune out if you want to stay away from spoilers, but we're going to talk about a lot of, spoilers from the trailer, theories and like that. But we'll get to that at the end of the podcast because I want people to have the chance to leave if they want to. But yeah, so the second game that Insomniac announced, a Wolverine game. Oh, it's for the Guardians of the Galaxy video game. I'd heard about that. I didn't see the trailer, but that's being made. That's being made by Square, which means it's being made by the people who made the Avengers game. So it's gonna be probably closer to that. Which I'd heard okay things about the gameplay itself, but just people were really weirded out by the fact that they don't have anything that looks licensed because it's not. It's like it's like that weird middle ground of like, hey, here's knockoff Captain America because you're so used to seeing Chris Evans, but also, why the crap would a video game studio pay to license Chris Evans? That's stupid. I get it, but it just felt so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a Guardians of the Galaxy game. I did hear about that. I thought she was just talking about the movie, and I was like, that movie's not coming out for like 2 years. Why is there a trailer, and how did I miss it? But no, yes, I did hear about the game. I didn't know there was a trailer. I just heard that there was an announcement. But yeah, and then Wolverine, which we kind of got cut off there. But yeah, Wolverine, who's like one of the most interesting characters I feel like to play a video game of. Like that sounds awesome, and it's being made by a studio who made an amazing Marvel game. I trust them like wholeheartedly after playing Spider-Man. So like Wolverine and Spider-Man 2 both coming out from Insomniac, I am intrigued and excited.
Yeah, it's got promise.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like I never played it, but I feel like a lot of people loved the Wolverine X-Men Origins video game. The movie, garbage. Video game
no one loved that.
Yeah, the video game was great though, from what I remember hearing back in like 2008 or whatever that came out for like the Xbox 360 or whatever it was. But I feel like people really loved that. So I also feel like it's an easy character to do. You're kind of just, it's not a hard thing to do, and Insomniac already has a good engine for like moving around. So and fight like the fighting stuff. I'm very hopeful. Chris is a little, smartly so, because a little pessimistic, little on the fence, which is fair. I'm wholeheartedly in. So Insomniac, if you want to sponsor just me, that's fine.
Send him a copy of
please,
the Wolverine and the PS5 to play it on.
Please also send me a PS5.
I mean, you can send me a PS5 to play Spider-Man 2 on. No, I'm not going to complain. I love the first Spider-Man. I like 100% of that game.
And why aren't you more excited about the games they're coming out with, Chris? Why don't you trust them?
I don't know. I can't sling from building to building as Wolverine.
No, but you could I hope that game is rated. Well, here's the thing: if that game is not rated M, I'm on your side. If that game is rated M and you can just destroy people, it's gonna be great. Just take people's heads off.
A cool building climbing mechanic with his claws.
Yeah, see?
We'll see.
It should be good. But Spider-Man 2 is coming out and Venom's in it, so no matter what, they're gonna have a great game that comes out in a couple of years. They might have two.
Oh, speaking of Venom, Carnage 2 is gonna come out soon.
I never saw the first one.
No, Venom. Carnage is coming out, the sequel to Venom.
Yeah, Venom. What's it called? It's called Venom is it Maximum Carnage? What's the title of that movie? There Will Be Carnage.
There will be Carnage.
It's Venom, There Will Be Carnage, which is Venom 2. But, yeah, that movie's...
Wait, hold on. Is that movie out right now?
Is it already out? Because that shows you how much I don't care about the Venom movie.
Oh, okay. It's September 30th. Alright.
So it's coming out real soon.
It is.
Yeah. Well,
I'll watch it. I like Venom as a character.
I like Venom as a character. I just did not care about the first. I didn't see it. I didn't hear enough that actually made me want to see Venom. The best reviews I saw were people being like, "It was kind of fun." It's like 2 hours for kind of fun isn't worth my time going in.
Yeah, it was fun enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not in this climate where going to the movies is a health risk. But,
yeah.
It was fun enough. Before the pandemic.
before the panty. But we're in the panty now, so...
Before the panty. I hate that. The panty.
There's another YouTuber I heard say that, and I liked it, and I can't stop saying it. And I try not to I just don't talk about the pandemic often because of it.
I can understand why you want the panini.
Yes, the panorama.
We're in the panini.
We're in the panorama picture. But speaking of just weird things that happen that don't seem real, just like the pandemic that doesn't feel like we don't live in a real world anymore. Speaking of not living in a real world, which to be fair, I want to preface by I put this in the list of things before it happened, and then it happened, and nothing of any information came out about it. So this sounds crazy on paper, but apparently it went off without a hitch. There was a big boxing fight that was between Evander Holyfield and Vitor Belfort that was being done by Triller. They've been doing a lot of weird fights. They did the last couple Logan Paul fights. They're really into the freak show boxing fights.
Yeah.
And Evander Holyfield, he's 60 or whatever. So this was another one of those. That's the guy who got his ear bitten off by Mike Tyson. This guy is not relevant anymore.
Yeah, hasn't been in a very long time.
I think Tito Ortiz fought Anderson Silva on the same card, in a boxing match, even though they're two MMA guys. This was a weird boxing card.
Yeah.
And what made it weirder was, for some reason, Donald Trump and Don Jr. did commentary for the whole event, which I thought sounded like a crazy thing when I heard it. I was like, oh, this is going to lead to so much stuff to talk about once it happens. And I also didn't realize when I wrote it down if it was happening yet or not, which it did. It happened on September 11th, which is a whole other weird thing that, the former president was doing a boxing fight rather than, going to like a memorial or something. Whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did both. I don't want to speculate. I don't follow the man, so I don't know what he does.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, so he had but I also haven't heard any of the people I follow who sometimes cover things like that. I haven't heard anything about like crazy things he said during it, which that sounds like a moment where it would just be 3 hours of stuff being said, and it doesn't sound like there was that much like crazy. There was no news out of it, so
Oh.
I guess it didn't matter.
Whoops.
Wrote it down before it happened, and apparently nothing mattered there.
Nothing interesting happened. Speaking, however,
Whoa,
of Donald
whoa,
Trump,
whoa, I'm not done. There was another little line there. From before it happened, though, there was a press conference about the fight where Donald Trump called in and was asked a question, and I want to see if you can guess what his answer was. Donald Trump was asked, if you could box anyone, who would you box and how would it go? Who do you think he said?
Joe Biden, and I would knock him out in one hit.
I mean, it wasn't exactly it, but it was basically. Well, to be fair, he started off like prefacing with like, "Oh, well, I wouldn't choose any professional boxers. I know they'd be off limits. I don't want to do that." Like, I don't think he felt the need to say that. Like, anyone thought it would be a good idea for him to fight a professional boxer.
I definitely think that Donald Trump in his current state could take out a professional boxer.
Yeah, it's just, but yeah, but just the insanity of the statement of the last president was asked who he could fight in a boxing fight, and he said the current president. I'm not making this political. I'm not sharing my opinion on either man, but just doesn't that seem a little wrong? I'm just saying it seems wrong to kind of be threatening the current president in a sense. Just saying, seems like a choice. But honestly, I'd put my money on the professional box. I'd put my money on him over the professional boxer that he was gonna fight. When him and Evander Holyfield fight at the Dexter Triller fight.
I mean, Evander Holyfield, he is old.
He's an old man who is in amazing shape, unlike certain other people.
Like Donald Trump.
Yeah. But see, that made me think though. I would really love to see Don Jr. fight. What's his name?
Logan Paul?
No, Biden's kid. Now that's a fight I'd be down to see. Hunter Biden, Don Jr. Both those men. Ooh, that could be fun. Those two men, both definitely not on any sort of substances. Sure.
Mm. Yeah.
We should run away from this because I might be getting too political and people might not like it.
Oh, I was gonna get more political.
Yeah, let's get more. Okay, that's fair.
Another thing that Donald Trump said.
Oh, okay, I'm down. Hey, let's go for it. Jump in.
I was also watching another streamer, and he was talking about the whole people taking horse dewormer.
Oh, be careful! The paste. We call it the paste. We don't say anything else. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, they're taking that good old paste.
Yep.
And there was a bunch of people, when they were asking about the paste versus, hey, if the former president got that good poke, would you get it? And they're like, nah, he would never do that. And then in a press conference that he had, he said,
I believe that everyone should have their personal freedoms. I do believe that. I believe you should pursue your personal freedoms.
And everyone was like, yeah. And then he's like,
but I think that getting the thing would be good. And I think that you should do it. It is in everyone's best interest. And everyone just, ooh.
Yeah. Ugh.
And it was crazy how it turned right around on him.
There's been a couple of times at his own big press, big weird event things that he's doing, even though he's not campaigning for anything right now, but he is still going out and doing campaign events. Whatever. Those things. There's been multiple times where stuff like that's brought up and he just gets crapped on because he isn't currently being as questionable as some of his supporters are.
Yeah.
It's just okay. But yeah, That's been a politics talk with Austin and Chris. This was supposed to be a fun story about boxing, Chris, and you.
Well, it was a.
It was also a
story
boxing
involving
story about Donald
Donald
Trump threatening to beat up Joe Biden.
which is a story that is only. It can only be political.
It sounds.
Eventually.
That thing is, when you say that, if you were to say, that sounds like an SNL skit. Donald Trump being like, "Oh yeah, I'd beat up Joe Biden in a boxing fight. He wouldn't stand a chance." Like that. Ah ha ha. Funny SNL. He's crazy, but he's not that crazy. But you said it. Speaking of political, do you want to talk about your next topic, or do you decide you're not researched enough at all?
I'm definitely not researched enough, but I do want to kind of just give a kind of teaser because
Okay.
I think I still want to talk about it more
Okay.
in depth at some point, probably next week.
All right.
But it is regarding a factory city in China, of course, called Yupa. And I only discovered it by watching a parody of a documentary of the factory city Yupa on YouTube. It's this really funny channel who does kind of a lot of parodies of like informational, like nonfiction content. He usually gets copy claims because of it. You know. But just generally, like, actually fascinating that such a place exists on Earth. You think of a city dedicated solely towards the manufacturing of products, and you're like, there's no way, right? That's dystopian future type stuff. But no, they're real, and they exist. And there are some aspects to it that are like kind of cool, you know, like the housing and provided sustenance and stuff like that, but also just like that is your life, that is your setting for probably forever.
Yeah.
Because finding a decent job outside of that, outside of like becoming a celebrity, would be difficult.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of a perfect encapsulation of like the difference between like socialism and communism. On paper, some of those things they sound really good, but when you have a communist dictator controlling how it's done, it goes from being kind of cool to okay, this is where China.
Yeah, but maybe tune in next week to find out all about Yupa and how it works and how it actually functions.
Yeah, we might have more topic about that. If we don't have it next week, we're never having it. Move on.
That's right. It's gonna die. Well, not Yupa. Yupa probably is still, still
going
living strong. Like a well-oiled machine.
Well, our next subject is this is just like how that one was mostly Chris talking because he knew about it and I don't. This next one is a little brief segment about me talking, marking out, as us wrestling fans call it, about some wrestling. AEW is putting on an amazing product the past couple weeks. Not that long ago, they had CM Punk return, which was huge.
That guy.
Yeah, see, Chris knows about that guy. The guy was gone for 7 years though, and talked a lot about how he didn't care about it anymore and lost his love for wrestling. But this new company, AEW, they're doing some great stuff. They had him show up, had his first match at the All Out show on the Sunday before Memorial Day, so like that weekend, not yesterday, but the week before that, and they had CM Punk's first match back, which that alone on a wrestling show that's awesome, like that's huge. And then they had the debuts of Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson close out that show, and just chef's kiss. That show was art. They're doing great stuff. If you somehow found us because you like us and our weird comedy and also like wrestling but somehow aren't watching AEW, go do it, please, for your own good. That's it. That's me talking about wrestling. It was fun.
Speaking of things you should watch or have watched.
Oh, that's right. This is going to be a weekly segment. This is a thing. Has anyone, from our viewers out there, have you heard of a book club? I'll wait. What? Oh, yes, you have. Okay, cool. Well, if somehow you haven't, I will still explain it. A book club typically is where, typically once a month, once a week, whatever. You have a book that you're supposed to read, and you come back and you discuss it a little bit. Well, reading sucks. So every week on the Downtown Kentucky podcast, we're not having a book club. We're going to have a movie club. That's right. Starting next week and going forward, we will have the movie club, which is going to be us, me and Chris. It'll be like a very, like, we're not going to go full in depth. Probably not even spoilers. Just like general discussion, how we felt, if we encourage you to watch it. Because some of these movies we watch might be good. Some might be garbage.
Yeah.
But
Some might.
speaking of some might be garbage, the first movie
Go on.
for Movie Club will be Wild Wild West.
Wow, wow, Smith, baby.
Yeah, fun little side story about that. I have Chris's phone ringtone when he calls me is the Wild Wild West song. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We at Gooby, we're watching a classic. Wild Wild West is gonna be our first. I've never seen this movie. I feel like Chris, you have.
Oh, I've absolutely seen
Yeah,
the Wild
okay.
Wild West before.
I have not. Next week we will talk about Wild Wild West and, not in depth, but a little bit more, We'll talk about how we felt about it, and we'll let you know what our next movie is for the week following. But yeah, that's how it'll work every week. We'll get a little brief review and then talk about the next one. Obviously this week, we want to give you the chance to watch the movie if you want to. So
Yeah.
we couldn't do it this week. This week we have to just announce it. So next week, The Movie Club, Wild Wild West.
Yeah. Give it a watch if you can. I don't know how I'm gonna watch it.
It's on HBO Max. That's where I'm going to be
Oh.
watching it. So if you need, I can send you the login.
Think I have HBO Max
Okay.
though. We'll
If you
find
need to-
out.
If you need to, I'll hook you up. Maybe we'll watch it on, we'll watch it on Parsec.
Hmm.
I mean, we won't, because that might be illegal.
Oh, yeah, that might be illegal.
So I was joking, obviously.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
Okay, it looks like you have multiple ways to get HBO Max.
No, it's convoluted, but I've
Oh.
got one way to watch it.
Okay, you have a way to watch HBO Max, so we're good. All right, whatever. The point is, next week, Wild Wild West. But next
Either.
segment, which is also a segment I want to do weekly, is a kind of it's also a thing we had kind of thrown around to do its own podcast with at some point, and we still might someday. But for now, this is a segment that will just live here on the Downtown Kentucky podcast. That's a segment that doesn't have a name yet. It's just a tournament segment of sorts, where every week we will have 4 things of one category, obviously. And they'll be in 2 little brackets, and we will have a little brief discussion on who we think should move on to the finals, and then who should win said finals. This week, we are talking about the 4 most popular Marvel superheroes, which in no particular order are Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man.
Did you say Iron Man twice?
I don't think so.
No, you said Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You're right. It's just that there's so many mans in the superhero world.
That's fair, yeah. So, on our left side of the bracket, I should have made a bracket, but I didn't. So this is just this is the audio podcast portion of the podcast for the video podcast people.
Yeah, use your theater.
Close your eyes, and you can see the cool bracket. It's really cool. It's
Bracket.
really cool, like lots of cool bright colors, and like it's beautiful. The one when you close your eyes. Chris,
It is very small though. There is
it is
only
very small. Yeah, it is
two-
only
two
it
actual
is
brackets
only a
for the one
semifinal.
final.
It is a semifinal and a final. So our first semifinals battle is between Thor and Captain America.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think for this week, because the criteria will change each time, this is us arguing which character would win in a fight. Not what our
Okay.
favorite character is, because that's very, like,
Yeah, no.
opinionated. And that, which some of these we will. I'm sure that we will talk about movies in a bracket at some point, like stuff like that. Who knows what we're going to do. But, like, this week is Marvel superheroes in a battle. So Thor fighting Captain America. Who wins? I'll give you the floor first.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Thor. Definitely beats out Captain America.
Mm.
He's a literal god.
He's not, though. He's not technically not a god. He is just a different being who is like a god.
Yeah. So he's a Norse god. uh, Captain America is kind of just a strong guy with good
That's fair.
values.
And he can wield Mjolnir, though.
He
Does
can.
that change your opinion?
No.
Because it
not at
doesn't
all.
change my opinion either. Yeah, no, the answer is Thor. The answer
Yeah,
to this
this
one is
one-
definitely Thor.
Definitely takes Captain America like handily.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
He's the one of the few people who has like put up a decent contest against Hulk,
Yeah.
who could probably beat everyone in this bracket, like
But he's not
With their-
popular enough to make it into this bracket.
with his hands tied behind his back,
I think he was
with
actually.
just his feet.
I think he might have been number 5 actually, but he didn't make the
Ah.
top 4.
Well,
According
sorry,
to the
Hulk, you should
Google
have been a
search
little
I
bit more
did.
popular.
So, no, I'm speaking of you. If you paid attention earlier, you know what our next bracket is. That's right, it's Spider-Man versus Iron Man. It's the battle of the men.
The Battle of the Men. Yeah, because Thor and Captain America weren't men.
They don't. Their name isn't Man. Is it Thor Man and Captain
Well, it should
American
be.
Man? No.
Captain America. No, not Captain American Man. Just Captain America Man.
So yeah, between these two, I'm gonna go with my arguments for Spider-Man. I think he actually has powers, and I think in a situation where they're fighting back and forth, I think he could win. I think Iron Man definitely has a shot, but like it's really hard to actually do any damage to Spider-Man because of his like healing factor and his like Spidey sense and all that. Like, I'm not talking movie Spider. Yeah, Tom Holland Spider-Man would get destroyed by, Robert Downey
Tony
Jr.'s
Stark.
Iron Man because Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man knows what he's doing so much more. But just the character of Spider-Man, I think he could beat.
Yeah, I
Iron
think
Man.
this one's a lot more close of a call between
For sure.
Thor and
This is
Captain
this is-
America.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I like Iron Man. I think he's cool, but I don't know that he could contend with Spider-Man unless it was like specific circumstances where he had
Yeah.
like a vibranium suit or something,
Yeah.
and then Spider-Man just couldn't actually do any damage to him. I mean, he maybe could immobilize him with his webs, but even then, like Iron Man's suit could probably still deal with that.
Yeah. So
I might lean towards Iron Man in this situation, honestly,
Ooh,
but it's very situational.
So are you going for Iron Man? Because if so, I do have a contingency, which is I go to randomresults.com and flip a coin.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I'm going with Iron Man. I think.
All right. Heads or tails?
Give me tails.
I don't know what that means. This site makes no sense to me. It gave me a number.
Number.
Oh, okay. No, that was tails. Apparently the number is tails because the other side has a head on it. I had to flip it 3 times before I even saw. Okay. Now I know. The number is tails. Okay? Iron Man moves on.
All right. And there's no contest between Thor and Iron Man.
Yep. No, I think there was a chance to make an argument for Spider-Man. I don't think there's an argument for Iron Man.
I think there was barely a case for Spider.
I think there's a
no
chance.
case
I think there is.
for
Because I
Iron
believe in the comics he has sometimes been able to wield Mjolnir, and he's not just a dude. He has he has enough things that I think you could have made the argument, but he didn't win. I trust the coin. Was my heart on Spider-Man and yours was more towards Iron Man? Sure. But I trust the power of the coin. And guess what? Spider-Man died to Iron Man, so now it's Iron Man versus Thor, and Thor destroys him. Yeah, no, there's no
Yeah.
argument.
Thor just short
You'd
circuits
still-
Iron Man's suit.
The argument for Spider-Man versus Thor still probably would have went to Thor, but there was an argument. There's no argument for Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man is literally just like weak to Thor.
Yeah, no, Thor wins. So the winner of the first ever Tournament of Champions, maybe that's what the segment will be called. Who knows? Is
Who knows?
Thor.
Hey Thor, you did it!
Good for Thor.
Congratulations.
Next week, we'll do something else. Maybe we'll do 4 most popular DC characters. Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
Batman, Superman, and Superman wins because he's Superman, and I hate him as a character.
Ah, whoa. Batman has literally won in the comics because Batman's willing to bring out Kryptonite.
I mean, yeah, it's another one of those very specific situational things.
I feel like Batman knows that he's fighting Superman. He's got the Kryptonite ready to go.
Let's be honest. Iron Man is the Batman of the Marvel universe.
He is, but Spider-Man doesn't have a weakness like Superman does. in that sense. Like but it doesn't matter. That's next week. Maybe we'll be doing Batman. They'll probably be in the finals because we'll see. I'll randomly draw the tournament like I did for this one, of the 4 things we put in it. Well,
maybe it'll be a bigger tournament segment.
Maybe
Probably not. Who knows?
Yeah, we could do an 8-person 7 matches tournament. Who knows?
Oh my gosh!
I know, right? Crazy. That is not the end of the podcast, but this is the point where if you would like to tune out, because we are going to talk about some trailers, tune out. Because some people, and I completely respect and understand it, don't like trailers. Because then, things can get spoiled. And a lot of times trailers do spoil things that maybe shouldn't have been in the trailer. But
sometimes the trailer is the entire movie.
Yeah, like Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. No, yeah. To be clear, the original Suicide.
I said Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad. I was very clear.
Is that literally the only distinction between the two?
That is the only distinction between the names. The Suicide Squad is made by James Gunn. Suicide Squad is made by David Ayer, but then taken away from him and put together by a trailer house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's time for trailer talk.
Trailer talk.
So,
do you live in a double wide or?
we're a little tight on money. We're in a single wide, but we'll concrete it in, so we're not moving anywhere.
There you go.
But no, it is not what trailer talk is about. It is about movie trailers. If you watch every Downtown Kentucky video, 1, thanks, 2, weird. But we have loosely talked about the first trailer, which is the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Which, we did loosely talk about. We didn't talk about it in depth, though. We didn't go into any theorizing, though.
Yeah, I did make a reference to Doc Ock going, Peter.
Yeah, I think we even mentioned that Doc Ock was in the trailer on that video. But we didn't really talk about what that means for the universe. And, the multiverse aspect, and there's all the rumors that despite him saying a million times he's not in it, that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in this as Spider-Man, and the fact that that was Green Goblin from Tobey Maguire's movies, little bomb that rolled in, we're getting a Into the Spider-Verse level crossover of characters from worlds into this movie. It looks like. Obviously, we don't know for sure yet. All we officially know is a Doc Ock that looks like the Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2 is in it.
Yeah.
And
the Green Goblin that sounds like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1.
But it definitely looks like we're getting both of those characters. I'd heard rumors about there's some electricity in this thing, which everyone went, oh, that's got to be Electro.
Gotta be Electro.
Because, no other way electricity could be in a movie.
No, that's never happened before. There's not electricity all around us.
No offense to Jamie Foxx, he probably did the best what he was given. I didn't like Electro in Amazing Spider-Man. I think that was because of the writing, to be fair. But I'm not excited about Electro being in it, because... I'm sure Jamie Foxx is a good actor. I'm sure if he was given good writing, maybe that would have been a better character. He wasn't. But he might be in it. That's one of the big prevailing theories, is he's going to be in it. All 3 Spider-Men are rumored to be in it. There's talks of Matt Murdock being his lawyer to get him out of the whole Mysterio thing. So we're going to have Daredevil in this too. Literally every character ever is going to be in this movie. I heard rumors that Batman and Superman show up in Act 3, but don't worry, they start fighting, but then they stop fighting to take on Doomsday.
Classic.
But yeah, so I guess that's it for Spider-Man. We did already freak out before, and it's a week and a half old at this point. It's not super relevant. Typically on Trailer Talk, it'll only be within a week, because, yeah. Do you care about The Matrix? I didn't even write it down, but do you care? Do you want to talk about The Matrix trailer at all? I don't know if you care. I don't, so.
I do like The Matrix, but I haven't seen the new Matrix trailer.
It looks pretty good. I don't care about the Matrix franchise at all, because I haven't seen it. But I saw the new trailer and was like, huh, this looks like a fun movie. I have to watch 3 other movies, which even people who like them say that 2 of them aren't great. So I'm kind of
Probably
worried.
get away with watching just the first
Yeah.
Matrix. Mr. Anderson.
But yeah, hey, Keanu Reeves, he's back. There's a new Morpheus. Ooh, people are confused.
That is confusing,
Yeah.
actually.
Is it though? Because it's the Matrix, so you could just be like, oh, well, the programming
true.
reset.
We rewrote his avatar.
Yeah. And also, it could be a different Matrix, because apparently, not knowing about the Matrix, this was a theory I heard someone talk about how, well, the first Matrix movies were in the 6th edition of the Matrix, so maybe this is a different version of the Matrix now. I don't know. I don't know enough about the Matrix to know if those are awesome theories and stuff, but, you know, the new trailer does look really cool.
I'll have to check that out after this
Yeah.
podcast. Then.
Speaking of trailers you probably didn't see, did you see the Hawkeye trailer that dropped today?
Did anyone see the Hawkeye trailer that dropped?
I did. I watched
Austin
it.
did.
I watched it.
Hey guys.
It looks really good, which is weird because it's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
On paper,
I
you're
mean-
like, Hawkeye?
Marvel does have a history of making us care about characters that no one cares about.
I mean, Vision.
Yeah. Vision, the
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No offense to him, but Falcon. I did not care a lot about Falcon before I saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You probably haven't seen Shang-Chi,
I haven't, but I'm
uh,
sure I'm gonna fall.
but Shang-Chi was fantastic.
I believe it. But yeah, so the Hawkeye trailer is great. There's I think the biggest takeaway I've seen on the internet is people are loving the little musical that Hawkeye goes to see in town. It's called Rogers the Musical. It's all about Steve Rogers' life. It looks funny. It looks weird. It'll probably be like 2 minutes, yet it had 2 shots in this trailer. It'll probably be 2 minutes of the whole series, yet there was 2 different pictures of it from the trailer. I'm so excited about the Hawkeye though, because, which sounds weird. Once again, it sounds so weird to say that because it's Hawkeye, and it's also like it's Jeremy Renner, who also is not a great human being, but like, but you know who does seem like a great human being, and I loved her in Edge of 17. That's Haley Steinfeld. Or Steinfeld? I don't know how it's pronounced. I'm a jerk, but yeah, she was the star of Edge of 17, and she's playing Kate Bishop in this. She's gonna be, yeah.
I don't
So
know who Kate Bishop is.
she becomes Hawkeye in the comics, so she's
Oh.
probably gonna become Hawkeye in this.
In the movie.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fair.
Well, it's a TV show.
Oh, okay.
It's a Disney Plus show.
Oh, Disney Plus.
One thing I will say about it that I actually think is really cool is it comes out this holiday season, is what they called it. You know, starts in November, probably ends closer towards Christmas.
Right.
The show takes place around Christmas, which is kind of cool. It's like a Christmas show.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like okay. So yeah,
I'm going with that.
Yeah, she was really charming in Edge of 17, and she looks like she's going to be really charming in this. So I'm excited about Hawkeye, which is weird. It's a weird thing to say.
That is a strange sentence to come out of anyone's mouth.
Yeah,
really.
you would think that no one would ever say that. But here I am saying, Hawkeye? Good?
Maybe. We'll find out.
We'll find out in November 24th. Subscribe to Disney Plus. And
Okay.
HBO Max. And what
And
other
Coke?
thing? Coke. Subscribe to Coke.
Subscribe to Coke. Do it. Please.
Go see Shang-Chi in theaters.
Yeah.
Go see
It's a good
Venom 2 in theaters. Risk your life.
Carnage. Yeah, I
Risk
love
your
that
life to
Carnage.
see Carnage.
Experience Carnage.
I'm dying to see Carnage.
There will be carnage within your body.
There will be carnage in the hospitals after you see the new Venom movie.
Yeah.
That was a really darkly humorous way to end this podcast. Gosh.
Sorry, guy.
Thank you for tuning in to the first ever Downtown Kentucky podcast. We
Yeah.
have to make it past 5 for this to be the most successful podcast we ever did. So if you see us in 6 weeks, cool. We've done it. This is the best podcast we've ever done. We've the most consistent podcast we've ever created. Yeah. I plan on being back. I think this was fun. We were able to, I think, make relatively enjoyable content, relatively easy, and it was just talking to my best friend. So I don't really see a reason not to make this. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So tune in next week for what can we tease out? Talking about Wild Wild West.
And Yupa, maybe.
And Yupa, and anything else that happens this week that stands out to me. I guess we'll do it every once in a while, maybe. Thanks to Internet Today, a YouTube channel I really like, for helping me know about most of this news stories.
There you go.
All right. Oh, also maybe next week you'll hear about true crime, because we didn't get to it today.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
But next time I'll actually write it down in the list, and maybe we'll remember to talk about it.
Okay.
All right. Tune in next week. Bye-bye!
Goodbye.